Oh, hi guys. I hope that you guys are having an amazing night. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, so thank you guys for those of you that did hop on. So we have a very special guest on. I love Jess. It's so funny because we're actually neighbors. She literally lives like one floor below me. But I love that our stories are so similar yet so different. So I'm gonna have her start with her story because we both live in Florida now. We've both been in the business about the exact same time, but like I said, our stories are so different. So I'm just gonna let you tell your story.
Hi guys, my name is Jess. So if you guys don't know my story yet, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. So I joined It Works 2 years ago. It was 2 years in December. When I joined, I was 22 years old. I had just graduated college and I was just landed my first full-time job. I was a full-time geologist and that just wasn't cutting it for me. So literally, I'm not kidding you, like 2 months after getting my first full-time job, I was looking for more ways to make money. So I actually played softball in college. So I was like, you know what? I can give softball lessons. I can be a softball coach and make extra money while also doing this job because it wasn't paying the bills. And it was just so much on my plate, and I had no time for family. I had no time for friends. My boyfriend was still in college, and I got to see him maybe once every 2 months. And I was just miserable. I was 22. I just came from this life of freedom at college, and now I was working all the time and barely making any money. Couldn't afford to move out of my parents' basement. And so I wanted a change, and I wasn't necessarily looking for this opportunity, but this opportunity was definitely looking for me. And just one day, some girl followed me on Instagram. I never accept people on Instagram, but for some reason, I accepted her. I have no idea. Well, I know now why I did. But at the time, I was just like, whatever. She has a lot of followers in common with me. I'm just going to accept her. So she ended up cold messaging me. I was one of those people who ignored her, but guess what I did? I immediately went to her story and watched her story and saw she was talking about making $2,000 a month from her phone. And I thought to myself, like, if I can do that, I can quit this full-time job as a geologist because I was miserable, because I wasn't even making that much there as a full-time geologist with a four-year degree. I wasn't even making $2,000 a month from it. And so, like, in the back of my head, I was telling myself, if I can do that, I can quit this job and I can just do softball and it'll be the best life ever. Like, that's all I could see was just diamond $2,000 a month. So I ended up joining literally immediately, and I went to conference literally a month after joining. I didn't know anybody on my team. I hadn't even enrolled like my first customer yet, I don't think, but I went and I wanted a change in my business and I wanted to change in my life. I wanted to be successful. And if you watch any recordings of anyone talking, they always talk about conference changing their business. So I went, I jumped in, went, met strangers. My mom was so scared, but I took everything that they were saying and I took it in, and I, listened to people and asked people questions who I had met along the way when I was there in Florida. And I went back home and I put my head down and I just ran. So I ended up going executive that month. And then February, I went executive in Ruby. Just literally the month after I went to conference, the very next month I went to Emerald. And then this is where my story gets a little different and where it took a lot of growing for me as a person and in this business as well. So I actually stayed at Emerald for 10 months. I went executive Ruby Emerald so fast, but then I was at Emerald for so long, 10 months. I was grinding for Diamond. It felt like every month I was going Emerald with a new team, but God knew that I wasn't ready for Diamond yet. I didn't know that. I didn't understand, but he knew that. And I do know now why he was doing that. And so I had like a huge mindset shift around December of last year. And I completely took over my business. I really started relying on myself. I stopped going and asking, or not asking for help. Like, I asked for help if I needed it, but I stopped relying on my leaders to give me things to do. And I started doing it myself. I started leading by example for my team. So if you ever feel like you have a team that's not working, it all starts with you. What are you doing? Are you doing what they need to do, that you want them to do? If you're not doing it, how can you expect your team to? So I started doing what I was expected to do and then some. And that's when I really started to see results in my business. And then I ended up going Diamond last year in December. And it's crazy enough, I went Diamond after 10 months of being at Emerald, and then I went double 2 months after that. And so it was like 10 months of Emerald, just a Diamond. It was a few thousand BV, and then I took this huge 7,000 BV jump in literally just 1 month to go double. And it just goes to show, when you put in the work and you start showing up as your best self and your best leader, your girls are going to follow you. So that's really my story. And now my team and I are pushing for triple. We are so very close, and I'm so incredibly proud of them. But seriously, you guys, if your team is not doing what you feel like they should do, it all starts with you. Start to look in the mirror.
Okay, let's just like drop some fire emojis of like how amazing that was just now, because like, holy crap, like I feel like for me, every time I hear Jess speak, like it literally just blows my freaking mind. I love your story, and I love how, did you guys hear the part where she said like she felt like she was completely stuck for like 10 months, like she was hustling, but she felt stuck? I want you to drop a one, and I want you to be totally honest. If maybe after like, you know, that long of time, you might have like quit, right? After 10 months. 10 months is a long time, right? Almost a whole year of being stuck at the same rank. So I want to know, like, those of you that are like, no, I'm out. Like, if I'm going to be stuck somewhere for 10 months, hell no, right? For those of you that are dropping ones, thank you for being so real. Because if somebody would have asked me a year ago, or even when I joined, if I would have felt that way, I would have been like, yeah, like 10 months is a long time. I don't want to be stuck at Ruby or Emerald for 10 months. But I want you guys to know that this whole business is literally just a growth process. So even when you're stuck, I guarantee Jess learned some of the most valuable lessons in those times when she was stuck, right? You would say you probably learned a lot.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I feel like for me, that is a good time to like start growing your team, right? Because diamond is one of those levels where you need a team, right? You need at least one leader to work with you. So going into that, we're going to talk about distributors, and I really want you guys to listen up during this, because I know there are so many of you that are pushing for like your shopping spree, or you're still pushing for like, you know, customers for your volume. But I want you to know that where the real volume at is distributors. So I want you to drop a 2 if you have yet to enroll more than 2 distributors this month. If you have enrolled 2 or less, I want you to drop a 2 and just be totally honest with yourself, right? Because it's the 7th of the month, right? So it's now or never to be completely honest and truthful and hear Jess out. Now, I'm gonna have Jess explain why distributors are so important and what maybe you like might be lacking when it comes to distributors, as far as like growing your team and your mindset about distributors. Because I feel like mindset is like 95% of the work when it comes to distributors.
No, absolutely. Okay, so distributors is so important. And I just want you guys to know that and this is one thing that I really want to emphasize, at the end of the day, you guys, I'm no one special. Haley is no one special. No offense, I love you. Lindsay, I know you're watching. We're nobody special. We're literally just girls who decided that we wanted more and we weren't going to give up. After 10 months, I easily could have given up. I know everybody was telling me to give up, but I knew that if Cassie was successful, if Nay was successful, if Steph and Joel were successful, why couldn't I? They're just normal human beings that are just like me, just doing the work. And so whenever I decided and I believed, that's when everything changed. No matter what anybody told me, someone could hold a gun to my head and tell me to quit, and I wasn't going to quit because I knew I was going to be successful. And so anybody who has ever been teetering on the line, you owe it to yourself to give yourself that life that you deserve and that you dream about, and you're going to be the only one to give it to yourself. And so when God hands you an opportunity like this and lays it right in front of your face, why would you ever question what he's giving you just because you don't have what you want right this second? So always remember that success is going to come. Time is just catching up. I remember watching a podcast right before I had that huge mindset shift before Diamond, and it said, you're already whatever it is that you want to be. You're already that weight you want to be. You're already that rank you want to be. You already have that paycheck that you want to have. Time just hasn't caught up yet. And when you think about it like that, it makes it so much better. When you walk around and you feel and you act as if you have all of those dreams and aspirations that you want so badly that you have on your dream board, when you feel like you already have them, it's so much better. And you continue to do the work to get there. Time's just catching up as it is. And I think one of the biggest things, you guys, is I saw a lot of you guys like 10 months sitting at Emerald. Heck no, like I would never do that. But I want to put income disclosure statement here. Okay, you guys, I went from a $500 paycheck to a $5,000 paycheck in 3 months because I decided not to quit after 10 months it's sitting at Emerald. I didn't just sit at Emerald. I kept working and I kept changing, but I did not quit. And that's why I went from 500 to 5,000 in a matter of 3 months. If 500 to 5,000 would literally change your life, drop a 3 in the chat, in the comments. I didn't know if I should say, yeah. It would change anybody's life. It completely changed my life. And because I didn't quit, I ended up signing a lease here in Florida whenever I was an Emerald, making that $500. And I had no choice but to be successful. And I was able to literally move out of my parents' basement, which I couldn't have done otherwise because I said no to quitting.
I'm going to stop you for just 1 second. She literally took quitting completely off the table. Like, can we just recognize that? How many of you, drop a 3, if you've ever had quitting on the table? Ever. Literally, you guys have got to take it off the table. Stop making your, I don't know what it's called, your plan B through Z, right? So many of you are like, oh my God, this business isn't working out. I think I need something on the side, or you're clinging onto that one thing. Like me and Jess have been there, right? With jobs, okay? Like I had 2 part-time jobs. Jess was a full-time job. Just like we went through the 9-to-5 life. We know what it's like to be there. And I'm just here to tell you guys that at the end of the day, this business can provide you more freedom than ever before. I'm not telling you to leave your job, but you know how many girls come into this business and they leave their job within a week, or they tell me right away within the first 2 weeks. Within the first 2 weeks, they go, Haley, I'm done with this job. I can't wait to be full-time if it works. And I say, you can do it whenever you want. Stop putting this limit on yourself that you can have it all when you're this rank. She was an Emerald and signed for a lease she technically couldn't completely afford in Florida. She wasn't prepared to pay that. I wasn't prepared to quit school and leave all of my jobs on a Ruby paycheck, but I did it anyways, because at the end of the day, nothing good happens in your comfort zone. If you notice that she's never been in her comfort zone, there's a reason for that. Some of you are living in your comfort zone bubble with your other jobs or your things to back you up, but there's one thing that's going to push you to be your best, and it's this business. So you need to get out of your comfort zone in this business. And $5,000, there's an Emerald bonus, people. Freaking go get it. It's done this month. That's it. What's it going to take for you to wake up and be like, $5,000 is a lot, and actually go out and get it? What's going to keep you up late at night to push you? Because I can tell you all those nights for us, it wasn't like, oh, you know what? Like, it would be really nice to have a couple extra $100 laying around. No, it was like, we got to pay our bills. We're moving. We've got to buy dogs. Like, we had things that we wanted to do, right? But at the end of the day, it comes down to, we needed the money. So if your why isn't keeping you up at night, isn't pushing you to send out those 10 messages before you go to bed, or make that TikTok, even though it's freaking midnight, go out there and go do it anyways, because that sets you apart from everybody else in this business. I'm sorry, you can keep going about the
yeah,
sorry.
No, absolutely. And you guys, just to emphasize that there's no growth inside your comfort zone. You have to always get outside your comfort zone to be able to grow in this business and in life, and to grow your paycheck. And I know all of you want to grow your paycheck, which is why you're still here. So I really want to talk about distributors, because whenever I was having that big mindset shift from Emerald to Diamond, and this mindset shift can happen from Ruby to Emerald, it can happen from executive to Ruby, it can happen to distributor to Emerald. It doesn't matter. You can have this mindset shift at any point in your business. And I hope that what I'm saying tonight gets through to you guys the way that it got through to me. So whenever I was Emerald, like I said, I felt like I had gone Emerald with a new team every single month. So 10 months sitting at Emerald, I don't want to say sitting or stuck, but 10 months at Emerald, and I'm not kidding you, I probably had 10 different rubies. And as you guys know, for an Emerald, you have 2 different rubies. I probably had 10 different rubies throughout those 10 months. So I was pushing out a new ruby every month, it felt like. And whenever I really started to have a shift in my business is whenever I was told, Jess, everybody on your team is replaceable. I want to emphasize that again, you guys. Everybody on your team is replaceable. Now, what does that mean? You guys are on someone else's team, right? That means that you're replaceable. And when I heard that, instead of getting upset, like, oh my God, I'm replaceable, so-and-so is gonna replace me. No, I decided in that moment, I was gonna be the one replacing other people, not the one getting replaced. So make that decision right now and implement that into your team as well. If you have someone who's not working, I don't care if they're a $400, I don't care if they're a Ruby, I don't care if they're an Emerald, they are replaceable. In 2 months, or from Diamond from Emerald to Diamond in a month, I think my entire Diamond chart had nobody from my existing Emerald chart on it. Why? Because I decided that everybody who wasn't working, I was going to find people who would work. Instead of pouring into your time, effort, and energy into people who, you know, don't want it as bad as you do, find people who do. You're going to get way more out of, and you're going to help more people by giving people by giving people your energy and effort who do want this, and more importantly, who need this. Wouldn't you rather take on a new girl who wants this and needs this so bad than pouring into this, you know, half working Ruby on your chart? Because the girl who wants this and needs this, you're going to be way more fulfilled as a person and as a leader by helping her than helping someone who is not working. And I can promise you, when you have your end goal, let's say it's emerald, let's say it's diamond, let's say it's double, ambassador, whatever it may be, you're going to get there a lot faster by focusing on the people who are working. I don't care if you have someone in a ruby spot who is not working and she's a dead ruby. If you bring someone up from her downline who is working, you're going to get where you want to go faster working with that girl. It doesn't matter that she doesn't have the team. You can enroll distributors and she can too. It doesn't matter that she doesn't have the volume that this other girl has. You can enroll customers and she can too. So the biggest thing with enrolling distributors, now I'm telling you all this, everybody is replaceable. And you might be saying, Jess, okay, everyone's replaceable, but with who? Because like, I'm not enrolling that many distributors. I'm going to tell you how to enroll distributors right now. One word, mindset. 2 words, three words, do the work. That's it. Your mindset and doing the work. And when I say mindset about distributors, drop a 4 in the chat if you've been scared to enroll a distributor because you don't feel like you can train her, or if you feel like everyone else on your chart doesn't work, so why would she? We've all been there. I felt that, like, oh God, I don't want to enroll Susie Q because half of my other girls don't work. What is she going to do? We've all been there, you guys. So drop a 4, be honest. I know we've all felt that way. So that's definitely not the right mindset to have. Learn from me, learn from Haley, learn from Lindsay. We don't want you to be there, you guys. It doesn't matter if your entire chart doesn't work. That next person that you enroll could be the next you, okay? So when you enroll a new girl, if she quits, oh well, you're gonna replace her anyways. That's why I never get upset when someone quits, because I know I'm always that makes more room for someone who wants it. And so whenever you're going into talking distributors, every single conversation I have with a distributor, sometimes I even say it out loud, or a potential distributor, I should say. Every time I go into the conversation, if they ask me about the business, or let's say I bring it up to them, every single time I say out loud, or I think to myself as I'm talking to them, this is my next rock star. This is my next rock star. This is my next rock star. I'm not kidding you. I like say it over and over in my brain or out loud. It doesn't matter. I don't care if I look like a crazy person, but I say it so much that I believe it. So every girl that I enroll, she is literally my next rock star. I don't know if she's going to be, but I'm telling myself she's going to be, and I have that mindset. So that's what I'm attracting to myself. So mindset is huge about distributors, and just allowing them into your space and into your team is so big too. Next thing is doing the work. Now mindset, I talked about that first because that's most important. Doing the work is second most important. Are you posting on your feed enough? Drop a 5 in the comments if you're posting on your feed consistently every other day. I'm going to put a 5 because I'm posting consistently every other day. Be honest. If some of you guys are on there and you're not posting every other day, I don't want you to put a 5. It's okay if you don't.
We'll double check.
No, I'm just kidding. We won't double check. You guys, if you're not posting on your feed at least 4 times a week, it doesn't have to be all about business, but it should definitely be about business at least 3 times a week. How can you expect people to want to join you? If you message someone about the products and they go and they just take, and they can't afford it, so you bring up the business and they go take a look at your profile and they see nothing about the business, what do you think they're going to say? Do you think they're going to want to join that? No, they're going to think it's a scam. How are we supposed to reach people? By posts. Only a certain amount of people see our stories, you guys. And it's usually like the same first like 50 people. And then after that, it's the same other followers. Like for me, I have 13,000 followers and I really only get like 500 views on my stories. So it's only 500 people seeing my story every single day. But I know that my reach for my posts is like 7,000 to 10,000. So that's 7,000 to 10,000 people seeing my stuff. Why wouldn't I post about the business on my feed? Why wouldn't I share what this opportunity has done for me? why wouldn't I help someone have the same opportunity? At the end of the day, you're only holding yourself back, and you're limiting someone who wants to change their life from being able to do that. And so make sure you're doing the work. Make sure you're following up. Anytime you talk to a potential distributor, write their name down, save them in your contacts as PDT. That way, when you go and do follow-ups, you just search PDT, or just write their name down on a PDT list that you have every single month so you can follow up with them every single time. Make sure you're bringing up the business if someone says they can't afford that. Make sure you're posting on your story every single day about the business. Not a single day should you miss a story about the business. And I know that on your team page, you guys have a ton of stories, so there's no excuses. Okay, back in the day, me and Haley, if we didn't make our own stories, we didn't have them. Because back then you couldn't screenshot and then post on your story. That wasn't okay back in the day. But now you can literally go to Haley's story, and if she has a generic DT post, you can screenshot it and repost it to your story. Or if she has one that tells her story, you can copy it and write your own story on it. You have all the tools. Why aren't you doing it? Okay, so make sure you're doing all the things every single day and going towards it at the right mindset, or having the right mindset whenever you're talking to people or just accepting people into your tribe. And you might be saying like, oh, like it's easy for you to say like, oh, you are where you are. Like, I know people feel that way because I felt that way in the past. Okay, so I want to let you guys in on a little secret. So last month was December. Typically, I enroll like 15 to 20 distributors every single month. I don't know what happened in January, but you guys, I only enrolled 4, and that's like not normal for me. So everything that I'm telling you, I know it works because in the first 3 days of February, I already enrolled 4, and that was all about mindset. I wasn't focusing on distributors. I wasn't going into conversations. I wasn't bringing up the business, and that's why I went from enrolling 15 to 20 to only 4. And I'm human. Like I have off months too, but I recognized it and I changed it. Instead of saying, well, why doesn't anyone want to join me? I said to myself, girl, what are you doing wrong? What can you do more of? And I changed it and it paid off. One big thing that I want you guys all to take from this Zoom, because I've actually had a lot of conversations with my girls about it, is I want you to make a dream DT list. So if I had it right now, I'd show you. But I already showed Haley. On February 1st, I woke up that morning, after enrolling only 4 distributors in January, I went to my desk, and one of the first things that I journaled, and then one of the first things that I did was I got a piece of paper out. At the top, I wrote my dream DT. And I filled the entire page with qualities that I want about my dream DT. Now, I'm just telling you, I didn't put things like, I put hardworking and like consistent and stuff like that, but I dug deep. I wanted her to have a closer relationship with God. I wanted her to be relatable. I wanted her to be passionate. I wanted her to be hardworking, but like used to hard work, like consistent. I want like a ton of qualities. If I had it right here, I'd read it to you. But I like dug deep. It's literally like build your DT. If you guys ever played Sims, like back in the day, like you would build your character. You're doing the same with your DT. Write down every quality that you want from your DT, and every single DT that I've signed this month so far, she has been just what I've created on that list. She is my dream DT. All of them are so far, and they will continue to be, because that's what I'm manifesting. And what I talked about in the beginning is that's what I'm attracting to myself, my business, and my life. So manifestation is huge. That's what the Dream DT is about, or the Dream DT list is about. But mindset is huge as well. Accept those girls into your team. Don't ever question yourself on what you're doing wrong. Only question yourself of what you can do more of. Okay, because you can never really mess up in this business if you have a positive mindset and you work hard, but you can definitely do more of posting, more of messaging, more of following, and just sharing what this opportunity has done for you. I don't care if you bought a candy bar at the 7-Eleven last night with money that you've made from this business, that could reach someone that could impact someone that you have no idea would impact them. But because you talked about being able to afford this candy bar that you usually can't get at the 7-Eleven, maybe some girl just went and filled up her gas tank and used change out of her cup holder and was so hungry but couldn't get a candy bar at the 7-Eleven, and she just so happened to see your post that day. You never know who you're going to reach with your posts and with your stories and by talking about this opportunity. So don't miss out on those opportunities and do the work. I hope that was good.
That was incredible. Can I get some fire emojis for this girl? Like, hello. I just want to say that one thing I love so much about you is that you just like exude confidence. Does anybody else feel the same? Drop a 5 if you're like, yes, there's no hesitation with this girl. And I don't mean cockiness. Let me tell you the difference between cockiness and actual like confidence. Okay. Cockiness is like, I make no mistakes. I'm perfect. I do everything right. She just told you that she got 4 distributors in 1 month, and she usually gets 15 to 20. That's vulnerability. That comes with a leader, right? And having that confidence, and she didn't hide that. She still showed her enrollments on her stories, right? She doesn't hide who she is because she knows at the end of the day, like she said, that doesn't define her. 1 off month or 1 month where she only grew her distributors by 4 or only by 4 distributors doesn't define who she is. And what I love so much is while she's going through all of that, never once was she like, this is just gonna suck. This is just gonna suck. Like now, this is who I am now. This is who I am walking into 2021 is I'm a girl that only enrolls this many distributors. She literally sat down and was like, no, I determine what I do. And I know that God's got my back. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna write down what I want and I'm gonna have full faith that I can get it. How many of you write in a journal or you write down what you want every day? I want like a 1. Drop, let me know. Who writes in a journal, who speaks it out, who prays for what they want, okay? I should see way more ones. I hope there's more ones. I hope there's more people that actually say what they want, right? But how many of you, and you don't have to answer, just answer this behind the scenes and be totally honest with yourself because in 2021, there's no bullshitting yourself. Sorry if there's kids. There's no bullshitting yourself, okay? How many of you actually believe that? How many of you truly believe, or do you think from your previous patterns and who you are that you can't change or that it's always going to be this way? I'm here to tell you it's not, but you believe that you're not going to change. You keep saying that you're doing all the things. You keep saying that you're asking for what you want. But here's the thing. How is God supposed to provide you the faith if you don't even have faith in yourself? Let's think about that for a second. You don't have faith that you can change. So why would God show up and be like, yes, let me give you all the changes. Let's just be a different person. Even though you don't think that you can be and you don't really want to be, you're just kind of saying you do. Let's go ahead and move forward with this change. It doesn't happen like that, guys. It starts with you. It starts with you consistently believing that you can actually make a difference, that you can change, that you can be a mass distributor enroller and a mass customer enroller. This girl literally enrolls like 100 customers a month and 20 distributors. Don't let her fool you. She's a mass customer enroller too. So I just want you guys to know that you can have it all. Whoever told you that you can't have it all, like you can't have your cake and eat it too, or whatever that saying is total BS because you can have whatever you want. God didn't put you here to live an average life. He put you here to live your best life, but you're holding yourself back from that. Why? Why? We're here on this Zoom to tell you that you're worth more, but it starts with your mindset. We can't do that for you. As much as we would love to just reach into every screen and be like, yes, you are amazing and you are a mass distributor enroller and you're amazing and you're a mass. We're not Oprah. We can't do that, okay? You have to do that for yourself. You guys have to realize that you are worth so much more than what you're doing right now. You can be more. But it's seriously up to you. And there's only so many times that I can tell you guys that because you guys deserve more and you know that you do. Drop a 2 if you know 100% you deserve more than what you have right now. You know you do. That's what I'm saying. You all know that you do. You know you're worth more. You know you deserve more. So get it. And now that's your choice. So the next thing I want to talk about is when you're new, and posting, because you talked about distributors and you talked about how posting is so essential, right? Now, I know that Jess talked about how stories weren't given to us. We're here to say that nothing was really given to us. Nobody made our stories. You know how like on my team, you guys know how I send like little story slides? Nobody did that for us. Nobody. I would go to somebody's story, if they showed their life story, like let's say they put like 10 slides together and was like, hi, my name is Jess and this is my story. I'm 24. I was this and now I'm that and I've done this and I've done that and all this. I would screenshot every story and I would go into Unfold or over. I would go into Unfold, let's be honest. I would go into Unfold and I would make a story just like theirs with their pictures, only my wording. But I screenshotted their stories so that I could make my own. But I didn't steal theirs. I didn't screenshot it and put it to mine. I made it in my own words. And now we're going to talk about how you guys need to start doing that with posting. We will still do that to this day. And I know you're going to reference that. So I'm just going to let you go into posting.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, we joined back but really and truly, it sounds so crazy to say. But whenever I joined, it was only 2 years ago. It really wasn't that long ago. But at the time, people were very weird when it came to screenshotting stories and reposting. And people did not share their stories. They held them like gold. They were sacred to them and they would not share. And if you copied them and you screenshotted them and reposted, people would get mad. Okay. So, you know, when I first joined 2 years ago, it was either I made my stories or I didn't have any to post. And so what I would do the same thing, and I would copy or screenshot people's stories and I would remake them myself. You guys, that's time consuming. Drop a 2 in the chat if you are already given stories by either Lindsay, Haley, or me. Do you know how much time that saves you? Girls, hours, okay? If you make them, that's awesome, but you're also given them. We were not given them in the beginning. And so whenever you have that time saver, that's so much time that you could be doing more. Now, don't take advantage of being given the stories whatsoever, okay? Post them, use them to your advantage. So one thing that I always teach my team, and I've literally been doing this for 2 years, because I started this opportunity whenever I was a full-time geologist and a part-time softball coach. And I don't think I touched on this in the beginning, but you guys, I would wake up at 6 a.m. I would go to work. I would come home at 5. I would scarf down dinner and literally drive as fast as I could to the softball complex that I worked at. And I would be there till 9 or 10. And then I would go back home, go to sleep, wake up, repeat, do it all over again. And so I was like as busy came. So I came up with this schedule whenever I was that busy, and I've stuck to it for the past 2 years, even though I do this full time now. And now I teach my team to do the same. So what I do is every single morning, as soon as I wake up, I immediately post coffee stories. So I'll post either I'll post me making this copy, whether it's just my hand or whether it's my whole body. And then afterwards, I will post testimonies like text messages and then result pictures. And I'll post that in the morning. And then, you know, throughout the day, I'll post other stuff, cute breakfast, you know, my outfit, whatever it may be. And then around noontime, I'm going to post business related. So I'm going to tell you why I post coffee in the morning. What are 99% of people doing in the morning? They're drinking coffee. So why wouldn't we show them healthy coffee? So then around noontime, I post business. You want to know why I post business? Because at noontime, I used to be sitting on Instagram before I joined this business, and I would be sitting on Instagram scrolling, hating my life on my lunch break. And so I started posting about the business because I guarantee a ton of people are just like me on their lunch break, hating their life, wishing they were at home, or on their lunch break in college, broke because they just had to buy like McDonald's instead of being able to get Subway. I don't know. Like people are on their phones at that time. So I post my business around noon. And then in the evening time, I always post a different product. And I would do that as soon as I got home, I would post a different product. Typically I would do like hair care or the HSN or skincare. But now that we have like skinny tea or sleepy tea, people drink that at night. Okay, someone could be going through your stories at night and they're struggling to fall asleep, which is why they're on Instagram, and then they see you talk about sleepy tea and they're like, girl, I can't sleep right now. That's why I'm here. Give me more info. I want to get this. Or I'll post about just a different product. I used to do like skincare, hair growth, whatever it may be, but now I do slimming gummies and the skinny tea. But I would do like skincare and stuff because what are people doing at night? They're taking their makeup off. They're taking showers. They're getting ready for bed. So if I fit my post to fit into people's schedules, it's going to make sense. It's already going to be in the back of their mind anyways. So that's when I post. So if anyone is new, or if you're still in the business and you don't have a schedule to what you post when you post it, use that. Even set alarms for yourself. It's like habit for me now. Like I can't imagine waking up tomorrow and not having this business and not posting my stories. I'd probably have a panic attack. But I set alarms in the very beginning. So I knew as soon as I woke up in the morning, that first alarm, I was going to post my coffee. I knew my lunch alarm, I was going to post my business. I knew my just got home alarm, I was going to post a different product. And then throughout the day, I would also mix in other products or other posts, normal posts as well on my story. That goes for my story. Now
I'm going to interject really quick. She doesn't mean the same things also. Like we don't mean the same coffee and like the same business. I don't want you guys to take that out of context. She made her coffee every morning, so it looked different every day. Because I know some people will post the exact same thing every day, and that's not appealing. People don't want to just click through your stories. You want to provide them value.
Absolutely. No, that's good. People, if they watched it yesterday, they don't want to watch it again today or tomorrow.
Exactly.
But I do recommend you guys, let's say you don't have time to record it every single morning. If you recorded enough mornings in a row, you guys, I have had so many girls in this business come up to me and they're like, you drink Skinny Brew every day. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, like kind of. Sometimes I'll do keto tea, whatever. And they're like, what? But you post Skinny Brew every single day. And it's like, girl, that's because I made that story 2 months ago, but you done forgot about it because it was 2 months ago and I reposted it. No one's going to know. But if you really do post like the same stories all the time, people are going to notice. I even see leaders doing that and I notice. And if I notice, other people are going to notice too. So definitely mix it up. Make it look like a new day for you because no one's going to know really and truly if you posted it 2-3 weeks ago. Repost it again. It's fine. But then I know you guys have a ton of stories in your all shared album or your album on Facebook as well that you can use as well. Mix it up. Nobody's going to notice that you have different nail color polish, that, you know, you have a freckle on this hand and not on this one. No one's going to know, I promise. But definitely mix it up. That's really good. And same thing for your distributor posts. Don't post the same thing every single day. Mix it up. Maybe one little sentence on a different distributor post is going to hit someone differently than the one that you keep posting. So always mix it up too, because you never know who you're going to impact by that one post. And if you're constantly mixing it up, it's a bunch of different things that you could impact people with. But now I want to talk about posting on your feed. So I know I asked you guys if you're posting on your feed consistently. A lot of you said yes. Now I'm going to believe you, but I know some of my girls on my team are not posting enough. So I'm going to talk to those who are not posting enough. And if you are, you can definitely be doing more. So whenever I joined, like I said, 2 years ago, we were taught to post every single day, every day. And for every day for 9 months, I posted on my feed every single day. I don't know what I posted about. I don't even know how I got the pictures, but I got them because that's what I was told to do, and I listened. And when it came to captions, you guys, in the very beginning, it doesn't matter if you're brand new. If you're on this and you're brand new, you do not need a success story to be successful. If that was the case, nobody would be successful. Nobody would be a top income earner in this company. All you have to do is have a story. Where are you going? Why did you start? That's all you need to have. Whenever I first started, all I was telling people was I was going to quit my job. I'm going to quit my job. Like probably every other post was me about I'm going to quit my job or what I was about to do. I remember saving up all the money that I made from this in my first couple months, and I bought my boyfriend this really expensive camera, and I posted about it because I was so excited. And that might not mean a lot to someone, but it meant a lot to someone to be able to join me. So I was posting every single day. Now, guess what? Good news for you. You don't need to post every single day. That's a little bit too much. You don't have to. You can if you want to, but I was definitely posting every single day. Now I post, like I said, like 3 to 4 times a week, as well as reels now if you guys are on TikTok. But really and truly, 3 times a week definitely needs to be business related, and you can always, you know, put in normal posts in there. You're a normal person. And at the end of the day, I know Haley and I were talking about this earlier, but I want all of you on this Zoom to think of yourself as an influencer. Does Kylie Jenner only post on her Instagram once a month? No. So why are you? She'll post like 3 days in a row, and then she won't post for like 2 days, and then she'll post every other day. You know, she's an influencer. Think about her. Why wouldn't you she's posting about her Kylie Cosmetics and skincare and all of that jazz. She's promoting her stuff. Why wouldn't you promote yours? She's literally like the youngest self-made billionaire. I want to be that, okay? So if she's doing it, then it must work because she has a PR team. So if we're telling you to do it as well and it's going to work, if it's worked for us, why wouldn't it work for you? It's going to, I promise. So posting on your feed, make it a goal. 4 times a week minimum. You can put normal stuff in there. And I don't ever want to hear, I don't have pictures. Girl, go put yourself in front of literally a window and use natural light and take a picture. If you don't look that great, that's why there's Facetune. Okay, so you don't need to have any of these like spectacular pictures all the time. People love vulnerability as well. And so when you're like, y'all, I had like a crazy busy day today. My hair is a hot mess. but I'm so happy that I just earned a 150, you can't say 150, but I just earned a bonus that paid my car insurance this month all in one day. That's going to impact someone who's running around too. So just always think about what you're doing is going to impact someone. So why wouldn't you do more of it to impact more people? Because that's going to bring you more distributors, more customers, and at the end of the day, more money, which is what we are all here for. Same goes with captions. So I hear a lot of the time, well, I don't know what to write. You guys just talk about your life. If you need a template, go to Haley's Instagram, go to Lindsay's Instagram, go to your leader's Instagram. They have posts that you can literally, copy and then put your story into it, and boom, you have a post. And they post on their feed so much, why wouldn't you? If it works for them and they're where you want to be, copy them. One of the biggest things that we were talking about today when we were talking about, basically new girls, was how much we copied top leaders in the beginning. I know Haley copied Lindsay, copied Cassie, copied Nay. I did the same exact thing. I didn't know who they were, but I knew that they were top leaders. And so if it worked for them, this goes back to the beginning when I was telling myself if it works for them, it'll work for me. So I'm going to copy them. I'm going to do exactly what they're doing. So you guys should do the same. If you literally have to copy someone's caption until you're able to, get good enough at writing them, do so. They would much rather you do that and actually get posts out there than not post at all. So I think that covers it all.
Yeah. That was perfect. And I also just want to say, I copy every single thing Jess does.
I love you, Karen.
I also want to say, if you go to Jess's page, let's just take a gander. Look at how freaking vibrant her Instagram is, guys. Look at her pictures. Look at how vibrant and gorgeous they are. She was at the fair in a cute little fuzzy jacket. And she was just let me just tighten my ponytail and take this picture. You guys don't have to be supermodel outfits and dresses. Obviously I know we just went to Cassie's party, but you guys don't have to look perfect all the time. Like she said, if you scroll back, I think it was a month ago, there's a picture of me on the couch in a huge sweatshirt, laptop, hair in a ponytail, holding honey. And I'm working from home. People love stuff like that. And it's funny. I actually got a distributor from that. She actually messaged me and she goes, your dog is so cute. I love my dog. I wish I didn't have to leave her every day. And I was like, I don't, you shouldn't have to either. And I can tell you right now that you don't have to, right? If you guys go to any of our pages, she's gonna set, do you use Lightroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she uses Lightroom. I do too. If you guys go to my page, same thing. Bright, vibrant pictures, right? So just know that at the end of the day, you don't have to look perfect. It's literally just about lighting, brighten. Another thing that I learned, cute little hack. You may not know this. I always used to say that I wasn't going to bring this up because I'm I assume everybody knows. But when you take a picture, how many of you know to turn your brightness all the way up before taking a photo? Your actual brightness, this, turn that all the way up. That makes a huge difference in your photos. They're what? Yeah, that makes a huge difference. Your photos can actually come out darker if you don't turn your brightness all the way up. I didn't know that until 3 months ago. And then I was wow, I feel really dumb. And then I never said anything because I was I bet everybody already knew this. How many of you learn something new and you're oh, everyone else knew this and I'm just the loser that's left behind? But honestly, guys, stuff like that is stuff that you need to share. Obviously, I forgot, and that's why I didn't tell you guys right away. I forgot. But honestly, stuff like that, little things like that can make or break your business, right?
Absolutely.
And I also want to say something really quick about Facebook. And I know you're going to back me up on this. When it comes to Facebook, what people don't want to see is memes and the same stuff, color backgrounds. It hurts. It hurts my soul when I go to some of you guys' pages and it's just posts like this, the color background posts over and over and over and over and over and over again. It doesn't look appealing. People don't want to watch somebody who never shows their face. You don't look real. Does that make sense? You guys don't look like a real person if you're not sharing your face, right? This is what my Facebook looks like right now. Already 2 posts where it's me and my mom and then me and my fiance. It's oh, and then a Facebook Live. You know what I mean? Guys, I look like a hot mess. Look at this. My glasses are on. I'm breaking out. My hair is in a bun. You guys don't have to look perfect. Please stop trying to think you got to look perfect all the time, okay? Because at the end of the day, if that's what you're striving for, you are never going to get there and you're never going to feel good about yourself. So that's just one thing I want you guys to know, that it doesn't matter how you look. And just piggybacking off of Jess, because I used to look at like Cassie and Linz and be like, oh my God, they're so perfection. Like I can never look like that in a selfie. One of the reasons I'm like so weird about selfies, I'm like, Lindsay takes perfect selfies in the perfect lighting. And I never thought that I could until I took one. And then I was like, oh wait, this is actually pretty good. You know, like you guys have to just push yourself to do it, because at the end of the day, Linz will tell you, I didn't shampoo my hair that day. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy what an editing app can do. So download, for me, I want to share this too. I use Airbrush, and I also use Lightroom. And what do you use? Facetune?
I use Facetune and Lightroom.
Facetune and Lightroom. Do you use any specific presets? I personally bought mine on Etsy. It was 99 cents. Best thing I ever did. It was called the teal filter. Very generic. And I make sure it says mobile Lightroom preset. It's Lightroom. Here, wait, hold on. I'll type them here.
Also with presets, you guys, if you just go to Etsy and just search mobile Lightroom presets, there's going to be so many that are so cheap. Literally,
yeah.
I actually made one for myself, but I used to use one that was from Lightroom. It came with 4 different presets, and it was literally only like $4.
Yeah, they're
and
really
it completely
cheap.
changed my feed too. So at the end of the day, this is what we're talking about, or this is what we're talking about whenever I say, think of yourself as an influencer. Nobody wants to see memes, but people do want to see your face. People are following you to see you. They want to see your face. Don't be afraid to go talk on your story. Nobody cares. Put a filter on. Yeah. Nobody cares that you're not wearing makeup today. Put a filter on and talk about the business. Talk about the products. Talk about how you just got your skinny tea in. That's what people want to see. Whenever I started getting on my story and talking to my followers, people were thinking that I was like famous, like at first, I felt like it anyways, but people felt like or knew that I was a real person, first of all, and so they trusted me more. That way, whenever I went and messaged someone and they ignored me, like I ignored the person who messaged me, but then they went and saw me on my story talking about the coffee or talking about the business or talking about my dog, they knew I was a real person. It wasn't just some, spam message. And so they were more likely to message me back. I got, my enrollments went up by probably triple or quadruple whenever I started putting my face on my story and talking to my followers. And that made just a huge difference in my business. And you know what's crazy about that too, you guys? Think about PDTs. Whenever they're watching your story, let's say they're watching you right now and they get to know you through your posts and through your stories, but then you start talking on your stories and you talk to your followers, they're gonna get to know you even more. Maybe they're just waiting to, see if this is legit, to see if you're a good person. And when you start talking to them and they see that and they see your face, they feel like they know you. And then when they join you, they already trust you. They don't have to build that trust with you. It's already there just by you doing one simple thing of getting on your story and talking. Don't be anxious about it. I promise you, get it over with.
Jess is on there all the time. Like, we're hot messes. Like, our hair is on the bottom. We're like, just woke up, like having a coffee. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Don't be afraid at all.
Be
we
yourself.
all were afraid at first, but it's like ripping a Band-Aid off. Once you do it, you're 99%
of the time, I'm watching in my messy bun. And I'm watching Jess, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I should go live and also do this because I look like a hot mess. 95% of your audience is a lot like you. So just realize that the more you step into yourself, the more girls you're going to get that are like you on your team too. And I just want to say one thing, just because this really, I saw this today and I was like, oh my God, I saw this today and I was like, let me just like talk about this on the Zoom tonight. So I don't know if you guys follow Jess, but go ahead. And this is her Facebook page. It doesn't look anything, it does, but it doesn't look like her Instagram, right? Instagram is more like a highlight reel, right? It's aesthetically pleasing. This girl posted her new apartment and was just talking about how freaking grateful she was about the space, about how her life has changed over the last 2 years, and literally just posted her apartment. You don't see that on her Instagram because she knows Instagram wants to see pictures of her and her friends, me, her and her boyfriend, like her and her dog, right? Like things like that. But don't be afraid. I feel like Facebook is one of the more of those like personal platforms.
It's
intimate. And what you get to put on your Instagram stories is kind of like what you put on Facebook. And correct me if I'm wrong, but like even things like product testers, like she puts the skinny tea. We don't usually put anything like this on our Instagram, right? Because that kind of goes towards like the old stuff we used to do. Not saying you can't, it just looks way more aesthetically pleasing if you keep stuff like that to your Instagram and Facebook stories and your Facebook posts. So I just wanted to clarify that because somebody actually asked me before this Zoom and was like, what's the main difference between posting on Facebook and Instagram? And I thought that was a perfect post. She didn't post her apartment, but she gave an apartment tour on her stories, right? She's got a picture of her and TJ, her boyfriend, on her Instagram, and then she's got pictures of her apartment on her Facebook. So do you guys see the difference? Drop a 3 if that makes sense. I hope that explained that okay. If I didn't, you can.
No, absolutely. Facebook is more of like an intimate platform where you can post like things that aren't necessarily you all the time. It can be where you live, it can be your dog, it can be a picture of a product. It's like socially acceptable to
Little
post
color
those.
backgrounds
Yeah.
every once in a while though, guys. Look at this. She's got pictures of herself, right? And then she's got like, oh, like a coffee post. You guys see what I'm saying? It's a mix of like life posting, product posting. You could do a this or that, or like, would you rather? Like I talked about the Puppy Bowl. I didn't even watch it. But it was like, what are you more excited for, the halftime show or the Puppy Bowl? And then it's like a life post right there. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So keep it fresh on Facebook. Do different things. I post multiple times a day to Facebook, minimum once a day, minimum. Because I feel like Facebook is one of those things where your algorithm can get a little weird if you don't post for like a week, right? And then your viewers go down. So just make sure you guys are staying up. I don't know. Just stay up with Facebook. Upbeat, yeah. And stay on top of it. And don't be afraid. Like I said, I know that going live is actually on the list for our team, is going live on TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram. And I kind of wanted you to touch on like your presence. I know you did with your stories, but like you even go live on TikTok and Facebook. And I wanted you to talk about like why that's important, like why even just going live is important rather than like just your stories every once in a while.
So they're important for two different reasons. Or like TikTok, it's important because with the TikTok algorithm, we really don't know. If any of you guys are on TikTok, if you're not, definitely just try it out. It's fun, have fun with it. But if you are, going live is so important because it boosts your videos that you already have. And if you have any video that has been on the For You page or gone viral, it's going to put it back on the For You page simply because you're on live. Another cool thing is you end up getting a lot of followers whenever you're on TikTok live. And yes, you can only go live. No, you can only go live if you have 1,000 followers. So just by posting, if you guys just post videos, you'll get to 1,000 followers. I had 1,000 followers before I even knew what live on TikTok was. Honestly, I got 1,000 followers like right after I got the app. If you're having trouble, just keep posting videos, remake trends, just post things that are relatable. And I promise you'll get followers. Obviously, post about the business, post about the products. That's how I'm getting a ton of my enrollments right now. But that's why it's important on TikTok. And you can also answer questions if people are asking questions. But you almost kind of like get a loyal following on TikTok, even if it's like 15 people. I have a girl who every single time I do a live, she comments on it, and she comments on every single one of my videos, and she's a customer now, but I don't know who she is. And so you kind of get
so casual too.
Yeah.
Casual.
Now it's important on Facebook because people like really and truly like Facebook lives gets put into your feed. I know it does on TikTok, but really and truly on Facebook. And a ton of people watch Facebook lives and they interact while you're on the Facebook live. Now the cool thing about Facebook lives is you can save them and post them to your feed. Now the reason that's important is because someone can go back and watch it. Let's say you just got finished with it, but it posted to your feed, and 5 minutes later, Susie Q watches it and she sees you making your coffee in the morning and you're talking about the energy that it gives you and how it makes you productive. And while she's still laying in bed and it's 10 a.m. and she's so tired she can't get up, and she's like, oh, I want to try this coffee because I've been wanting to slim down too. Like, you relate to people and people get to see it. That's why Facebook Live is so important. And like I said before, Facebook is a much more intimate platform. So don't be afraid to open up, you guys, when it comes to your social medias, because at the end of the day, when someone buys from you or joins you, they're not buying the products or joining the business. They're joining you, or they're buying what you're you're giving out, or like they're basically buying you before they buy the products, and they're joining you before they join the business. So when you open up and you show your followers who you are, who you truly are, and they get to know you, that's going to make them way more likely to join and trust you.
Because there's been multiple times when, and Jess, I don't know if you've had this happen, but there have been multiple times when other people are like, oh yeah, I was talking to another distributor, but you seem so great. Like I had somebody who, it was their cousin that sold 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒉 products, but she signed with me instead because she was like, you're so, like, you show the coffee every single day. And I just wanted you to touch on one last thing on the Facebook Live part is, would you talk about people who are scared? Because I've got so many girls that are brand new that have never gone live, and I think they're kind of like talking themselves out of it every day.
Yeah, definitely don't talk yourselves out. And
yes, please.
Since Haley just brought it up about people saying like, you're so much more relatable, like I like you so much better. I'm not kidding you guys. An hour ago, I got a text message from a girl who just ordered like an hour ago, and she said, I'm not gonna lie, I've talked to a lot of people from @Works, and you are the only one who has been responsive and helpful. So woo! Like I'm not kidding you, I used scripts the entire time I was talking to this girl, but
she just sent that, like
she just sent it an hour ago.
Literally, wow.
But I'm like so lively, and like I answered all of her questions while still using scripts to get the messages out fast. But she probably saw me on my story talking too. She probably saw me saying like, hey, sorry, I don't really care about the Super Bowl, I just want the food. And she probably got to know me through that, which is why she said that, even though I'm just using scripts on her. Like she knew who I was before I even knew who she was. Okay, so that's why it's important to do those things. Now, Facebook Live, don't be afraid, you guys. It's just a Facebook Live. Half your people on Facebook don't even know who you are anyways. What does it matter? What is there to lose? Absolutely nothing. What is there to gain? Absolutely everything. When you want to talk yourself out of a Facebook Live, like, I don't care if you have to slap yourself in the face. I pretty much shake every single time I do a Facebook Live to this day. And I'm probably really awkward, and I stutter, and I have like a Southern accent. And so it takes me, like I say words wrong all the time. But you guys, I literally just do it. Okay. And that's what you have to do. Yeah, I laugh at myself. Yeah, you just laugh at yourself. That's what people relate to. I remember I got on with my boyfriend one time for a Sleepy Tea live, and he was the most awkward thing ever. And people were laughing at him. But guess what? I signed a Sleepy Tea customer that night that we did that very awkward, uncomfortable live because people thought it was funny. That's how people get to know you. Don't you want someone to know you and want to buy from you? If it benefits your business, why wouldn't you do it? If Mark Pentecost came up to you and said, hey, I think you should do lives, would you do it? Because I guarantee he would tell you to do that. They're all promoting post to post and Facebook Lives and doing all the things. Why wouldn't you do it if it only helps you? My girl Karen, I do want to shout her out because she's on this Zoom right now. She is from Colombia, and for the longest time, she would not show her face on her story or talk or do lives because she has a Colombian accent, which I love. And I was like, Karen, so many people are gonna love that. And she was like, she finally listened to me after months of bartering her and harassing her, and she finally did it. And you guys, she sends customers every single day, or distributors every single day. She is a mass enroller, my top mass enroller on my team, because she finally listened to me and she started doing all the things. You cannot be upset with where you are if you are not doing everything that you could be doing. Once you're doing everything, the results will come. I promise you won't be sitting there saying, why am I not getting customers? Why am I not getting distributors? Why am I not promoting? Why is my paycheck not as high as I want it to be? If you are doing all the things, you won't have those questions, because they won't even be questions, because you will have everything that you want and more if you continue to do all the things every single day.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Can I get some like love for Jess? Can we please tell her thank you? You're so cute. Can we please tell her thank you so much? Like, guys, that seriously just blew me away. And honestly, I had so many moments where I was like, oh my God, yes. Like, because I just feel like it doesn't matter how long you've been in this business. Guys, please don't wait for these Zooms to have a wake-up call. That's what I'm going to end with. As incredible and amazing as this is, and as much as we love to do team Zooms, as much as we love to show up, right? And we love to be like, rah, rah, and do this and do that. When you get off this Zoom, it's just you in your bedroom, in your office. You decide what you do for the rest of the night. You decide what you do for the rest of the month, right? All we're going to see is the results. We don't see the hustle. You guys don't see our hustle, right? Obviously, if you're on a power hour, great. But you guys don't see me staying up until 2:30 in the morning and rolling LCs. You don't see that. There's no reason for me to be like, hey guys, let me live stream my life, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what a lot of people don't see and what a lot of people don't get. Or just getting up at freaking 6 in the morning. Like that girl's up early as shit in the morning, and she's like, I already have my coffee, I already done all these things, and I'm like, I'm just waking up. Like everybody functions differently, right? But find what works for you, and please just like, don't be anybody else. That's one thing I wanted to say really quick, is that there have been a lot of times in the last year, and I don't know if you can relate to this too, is where I would look left and I'll look right and I'll be like, oh God, like I'm not as good as Instagram as Jess, or I'm not as good as TikTok as this person, right? As Cheyenne Knox or Courtney Bohr or whatever, or Jess. But like, you guys have got to stop comparing yourself to everybody else and find what works for you. Do you like talking to your followers? Awesome. Talk more. If you don't, get used to it. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. Just because it works for somebody else doesn't mean that everything is going to work for you, but a lot of the stuff is going to work for you. Don't change who you are. Don't be somebody different, but be yourself, but adapt what they're doing. Does that make sense? Don't write off TikTok just because you haven't seen success in 3 months. Keep going. I didn't see success for months. Just know she watched. Like they were like, oh God, this is brutal to watch you go through this, but I stuck it out. And eventually I blew up and things have been happening. I've been rolling coffee customers because it just happened, right? Because I kept the faith. Everybody's journey is different. Thank you, Christina, for saying that. I love that. Yes, 100%. Even though our paths look very similar, 2 years, moved to Florida, hated our like 9 to 5 school life, all that kind of jazz. I think that's why we get along so well. But at the end of the day, we're two different people and we have value to our followers, right? So what makes you different than me? What makes you different than Jess? Not better than, what makes you different? Why should they come to your page and see what you post every single day? Add value this year. Add value, okay? So start stepping into you. And if you don't know what your brand is, that's fine. This time last year, somebody was doing a Zoom and was like, what's your brand? And I was like, God, I don't know. I don't think I have one. And then I looked at it and I was like, no, I do. My dog, my excitement, my love for the business, my love for traveling, my friends, my family, my fiance, like all these things start to become who you are and what you show every day. And you guys should continue to show that every day, okay? So I just want you guys to step into who you're meant to be and who you're supposed to be, your destined self, because that's all God wants. He wants you to step into who you are. If he wanted you to be somebody else, he would have made you that person. So I love you guys. I hope this helped so much. I'm gonna post the recording. Thank you again, Jess, you're amazing. And I will see you guys so soon. Have a great